Let's say goodbye to all your worries about tax planning, investment troubles, and any confusion when it comes to managing your finances and money. Here at Rocky Hill Accountants, our team has a combined 35 years of experience and will help you do it right. We're dedicated to your needs and will deliver on a result that is professional and trustworthy. Our firm is large enough to offer a full range of professional services, but small enough to give you the individual attention that you deserve. Our business portfolio includes thousands of prepared tax returns for individuals, families, partnerships, businesses, and more. The team at Rocky Hill Accountants are also thoroughly trained in tax laws and procedures. We have the ability to represent taxpayers before the IRS when they arrive at collections, audits, and appeals. This allows us to offer our accuracy and audit guarantee to tax clients. Please visit our website at rockyhillaccountants.com or give us a call at 860-257-4238 to schedule an appointment. Thank you so much for checking out All 4 Downs. I am Joe Aguirre. I'll be joined by Jace Garcia and Ovi Muniz in just a minute. Got a good show for you tonight. We'll be talking about this alliance between the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12. What exactly does it mean? We'll tell you what we think it means and what some of the experts are saying. The Pac-12 will not be expanding, which is maybe for the time being some good news in college football. And speaking of college football, there are 5 games kicking off this Saturday. We've got your picks and so much more, including Jace's great takes. Jace Garcia, I'm sure you've got some wonderful thoughts for us this evening. I'm very excited to get into those. And OV, I know, You've been doing a lot of research. You've got sort of your own thought as to what exactly this alliance is, means, and what's going to come of it.
Well, let me first start off with you mentioning about experts assuming what it is, and the experts really don't know what it means. So it's one of those, hey, you want to be on my team? Yeah? All right, let's go ask this other guy if he wants to join too. That's basically what it boils down to. The SEC granted Oklahoma and Texas to be in the SEC. Now, when will that start? It could be as soon as next season, right? So, what did the other conferences do? Is exactly what I just said earlier. 3 conferences got together, agreed, verbal agreement that there will come an alliance. What does that mean? We can only assume, right? So, one thing's first. Number one topic before all this happened was the college football expansion. Well, I've been saying it last week, and I said it a week prior to that too. We can stop talking about the expansion of college football. Because once you have this alliance, you're pretty much saying nobody else is going to enter this circle. It's going to be within the 3 conferences. And granted, more teams may be involved as a part of the expansion. Okay? Joe, you mentioned about teams like Coastal Carolina or Louisiana or Louisiana Monroe. You know, these small colleges that are making a big impact in college football. Those teams could be in consideration in joining this pack to make it very competitive, right? The second part is always about the money. And I don't care about how people say, you know what, we're going to look out for our players, the sports in general, the equity, and everything else. Your bottom line is that you're finding a way to make a lot of profit in $1 billion industry, maybe $1 trillion, the way that they are trying to put things together, right? And again, it's not about anything but money. So, what else can happen? Well, we're also big on transfers, and this offseason has the biggest transfers in all of college football, right? Because we have some disgruntled players that they were probably promised that they're going to start, and then they were beaten for the starting position, so they moved somewhere else. Okay.
Don't forget that extra year of eligibility as well, due to the
There
COVID
you go.
season.
So, with that, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Jace. So, if I'm part of this alliance and I say yes, that I want to go to Ohio State, and then all of a sudden I don't get a starting job like Joe Burrow did when he went to LSU, guess what? More likely, you're not going to an SEC conference. Now they're going to micromanage you on the transfers. No one's talking about that, right? There's always a loophole, right, to get you in the system, and then you end up being stuck. So with all that, okay, granted, some of the things that it said was they're going to look at the welfare, the health and welfare of every player in sports, right? That's including health coverage, everything else, because if they get injured, they got health care moving on after that, right? Bottom line is that somehow in the future, within the alliance, they're going to have their own playoffs to determine who's going to be that number one team, and they're going to probably leave out SEC. Okay? Now, everyone's scratching their head like, hey, that's bullshit and this and this and that. I'm telling you, right? If SEC's not playing games with them, why were they excluded in the first place? Right? This is a lot of drama that's going to develop even more, and these talks are going to happen every week throughout college football that's going to have us fans not really being focused in the game. So what are your inputs in this?
Well, I love this as a response by the Big Ten, Pac-12, and ACC as, okay, we see this big move that the SEC just made with Oklahoma and Texas. All right, what's our reaction? This is a great reaction. And it is, because it is a reaction, they are still trying to figure it out. That's why nothing's in writing. That's why everything is mostly just hearsay at the moment. So, but I do think it will be, I think right now what we are pushing towards it's becoming a complete and total, just the Power Five and everything else. So I think why not use like a Premier League? Look at the Premier League in England. That they have their set teams in their Premier League, and they also have a like not developmental, but like a tier below. So the bottom four teams in the Premier League, they have to face the top four of that bottom league to stay in the Premier League. And if they win, they keep their spot. If they lose, the team below them gets their spot. I want to see something like that. I think what this is just them, those conferences trying to centralize the power of the NCAA. Because right now it is all conferences that have the power. The NCAA needs to take control and distribute the wealth as much as they can. But
the NCAA don't have no say-so right now.
Interesting comparison to soccer. You got my attention when you said about blowing the team below you or whatever that was. Oh, that sounds like soccer. Here's what I'm saying. It was pretty obvious that this thing was going the way of the SEC a couple of years ago. And I said last year that I to me things were not going well, especially if you were the Pac-12. The Pac-12 seemed like it was being completely disregarded, and I said they're going to have to do something. I thought a federal lawsuit to break up the power that the Power Five just sort of took from the NCAA. This is the next best thing. This is great. Them cooperating is the best thing they could do, Jace. You're right. Like they had to react. This is great. They don't even know exactly what it's going to be, but it's
But
going to
don't you
be
think
to
that's
their
a problem,
benefit.
though?
No, I don't. I don't think it's a problem.
But why would you
because
announce something that they're going to do something and not have a plan or
you can't-
whatever it is?
we can't announce a joint partnership and then decide what we want the partnership to be as we negotiate it?
Why not announce it and then explain what's it going to be? Why are you going to say, yeah, we're going to be together,
Because they haven't
but
figured
we
it
just
out
don't
yet.
know how we're going to be together?
This is them announcing they're
But
working
that's
on
what
it,
I'm
not
telling
But
you,
them
then what
saying
happens
it's
if
finished,
somehow
it's
they
Obi,
try to come up with a
Obi,
plan and it doesn't
Obi,
work?
They were being excluded, and so they did the only thing they could do, and it's like we should team up somehow and stop this, right? Yes. Let's announce it. We'll figure it out later. Yes. And here we are.
You know who I feel sorry for? Because all this is designed
Alabama?
for college football. And I got something for that too. Hold on for a second. However, I feel sorry for the other sports like college basketball, right? Baseball. All these are all effective. Yes. So when you start changing things around, right? All the sports are affected on this. You know what I mean? Remember back then when we had the Big East and that was the powerhouse for college basketball? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden that went away and now the ACC took over. They're supposed to be the powerhouse, even though it was still North Carolina and Duke anyway. You know what I mean? So I got a feeling that you mentioned Alabama. Soon Alabama is going to be out of the picture. Soon we're going to see some new college football teams to be ranked on top. This is the era where the chapter is going to close pretty soon, right? So I give it another 2 or 3 years, right, to get, because again, the transfer portal is in effect, right? And if you're making all these changes and with players making money now because of the nil law, I don't really have to go to Alabama. I could go somewhere when I'm guaranteed to start, right? Bring some fellas and do the LeBron James type of recruitment. And from those,
that's getting a little crazy.
Which is
they
totally,
don't have that type of power.
Oh no! Trust me.
They don't have that type of power.
Oh, they can convince. Yes, they can. However, what I'm saying is that pretty soon, and I give you another example. Oregon had climbed up the charts, 9 up. They're ranked 5th right now for the best recruiting class in 2022. Alabama, right, is not number 1. Penn State is number 1. So there's a trend that's starting to happen right now. What's up, Joe? Why is that?
I'll tell you exactly why. Nick Saban was just bitching about this the other day. When these Alabama guys leave after their junior year, you don't get the scholarship back until the year after. You don't get that scholarship freed up. That senior year, it's not like you get a new scholarship to give out. So you're technically shorted a guy or more. Anybody that leaves as a junior, that actually hurts you. So, yeah, Nick Saban was complaining about that. They didn't have as many spots. He said if he had more scholarships freed up by not being penalized for guys leaving early, he would have done a lot more damage in the transfer protocol. He would have been pilching from other teams, he was saying. So I think you misunderstand what all of this is about. This is all about Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, and the wannabes of the SEC. They've got the power. They've got the recruits going their way right now. By and large, everybody wants to be in the SEC. It's got its own network. They don't want to give the power away, is the point here, and they're doing everything. You would think that you'd be excited to have teams like Liberty and Louisiana Monroe and Coastal Carolina. They hate that.
And UConn, right?
Hold on. Can we get this right? It's Louisiana Lafayette. That's the good
whoever.
Louisiana.
Who cares?
Like 0-20 in their
just say
I
UConn.
like Louisiana Monroe. I respect them for going out there and losing all the time. But listen, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. They're trying their damnedest to not allow this to get competitive. Look at NCAA basketball right now. Look at Wichita State and Gonzaga. I mean, those are national powerhouses. And let's be honest, the good old boys in the SEC, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. They don't want Coastal Carolina to be America's little darling in the Liberty Bowl or whatever. They don't want that.
But not to change the subject, but what ruined college basketball is that one-hit wonder where you could do 1 year and then you leave. You go to the NBA.
How did that ruin it? It got Syracuse its only national championship in 2003 with Carmelo Anthony. Thanks, Melo.
And, of course, I could brag about UConn winning afterwards. But, hey, that's another story. But
why would you try to rain on my parade? I'm having a moment about the orange, and you felt the need to what? Throw Syracuse?
It's not over. It's just
you
like
wanted to throw UConn out there?
I'm just doing a Nick Saban.
But funny, too. Think about it. Think about those teams. Mm-hmm. Those were the Big East.
Yeah.
And look what they did. They took a giant dump on that conference. Horrible.
They sure did. Yeah. They sure did. But hey,
even when you're making money, that's apparently not enough.
No, it's not. It's never enough.
Not if you can make a little bit more.
Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, a big announcement here. And for those of you that love to pick and choose your teams, who's to win, we're allowing you guys to join the fun with us, All 4 Downs podcast, as we select each week college pick'em and pigskin pick'em. That's right. We're doing both college football and the NFL. So if you got what it takes to beat us, by all means, go on ESPN, go on college pick'em or pigskin pick'em, and type in All 4 Downs and join us.
Is Hector playing?
Yes, he is.
Oh boy,
he is, and he has his own podcast in which he's going to announce all his winners for the NFL. So that's coming up soon. Matter of fact, that'll be coming up next week. So you got to stay tuned to that. But however, by all means, please go ahead and sign up today. Again, the college picks will start next week, as it's an official week 1. I guess somehow they saying this is like week 0, but in reality, this week and next week it's a combination of week 1. But hey, there's other topics that we need to cover before we do our college picks for this Saturday, and that is vaccinations within college sports. We just heard that Auburn's head coach is tested positive for COVID-19, and he is not vaccinated. Joe, I know you've been on top of this in several of your podcasts, the importance of why everyone should be vaccinated. Please tell us why.
I'll get to him at the end of the show. We'll just talk about vaccinations right now.
Mm-hmm.
Currently in the United States, and specifically in the great state of Florida, although Texas isn't too far behind, they are putting up record number of COVID cases. I say to people, do you remember when they were dropping dead in the streets in Italy last March of 2020? That's how bad it is right now in Florida. They've actually exceeded Italy's positivity rate at this point in Florida. The jig's up. This isn't about freedom. This is about stupidity. Just the other day on my Facebook page, I made a remark about all the geniuses out there doing their own research about COVID. If you don't believe in the CDC and you don't believe in the WHO, it's because you're an idiot and you've been reading media that's told you not to believe those people. Every organization might have a little bit of corruption. The scientists and doctors that work there know far more than you do. A former student of mine who's an idiot got into an argument with me about my suggestion that the reason you didn't get polio in your lifetime and the reason you've never had the measles is because you were vaccinated as a child. Because we knew if we left it up to you, you'd be an idiot and make the wrong choices. One of my good friends, a girl I've known since I was 5 years old, went to Yale. She graduated from Duke Medical School, and she's a PhD in genetic biology. I don't even know what that is. Okay. But I know it's really smart. She gets the CDC reports every single day. And she was explaining to my stupid friend what that information means and why it is what it is. Science isn't right or wrong. Science is forever changing. So when people say, Dr. Fauci, the CDC keep changing their mind. No, they're reading real-time data. You see, when your vaccination rate is through the roof in Florida, they're like, you guys should wear masks and social distance. When things start to go down again, they allow us to try to get back to a normal life. You're the clowns that are keeping this going. 99% of people in the hospital right now are not vaccinated. It's as simple as that. Can you still get COVID if you're vaccinated? Yes, you can. Will you die from it? No. Will the symptoms be much less severe? Yes. Will it affect your DNA? No. Is there literally COVID in the vaccine? No. All of these questions can be answered for you at cdc.org. Now, here's the problem with this freedom bullshit, and let's just call it what it is. If you want to be part of an organization and you're jeopardizing everybody's health, you can't be there. If you had chicken pox and you showed up at your NFL locker room, they're not going to let you hang out there. I mean, is this, this is stunning that for someone to say, my body, my choice, when you're standing amongst 89 other players, your poor choices are affecting those people and their right and their freedom to be safe. Also, you're wrong. Poisonings are up 500% in Texas. Apparently, all these idiots are using this horse medicine to treat themselves for COVID. I mean, you people, every day you find a new way to show us how stupid you are below the Mason-Dixon line. It is stunning, the stupidity that literally is coming out of that. Because what? Because you think Joe Biden likes the vaccine? Is that why you're not getting it? My God, we could be back to like having normal lives, sitting in stands watching these goddamn games, but this is why we're doing this, because of morons. Get vaccinated.
Joe?
Yeah.
You want a hug?
No, I'm good. It's frustrating. I get frustrated.
It is.
You know what I
mean?
It
is. And that's why I gave you the floor, because I knew.
Thank you. Listen, nobody's trying to tell you what to do.
Of course not.
We're telling you this.
We're telling you what common sense is.
Stop this thing is to get your vaccination. But when we get to 75%, then the rest of you, whatever. We got to get 75 for the herd immunity so we can kind of like stamp this thing out. That's it.
And you would think that we learned our lesson why we were all locked down for almost a whole year.
Yeah, let's do it for another year. Maybe people will learn.
No, they want that paycheck, that big paycheck, so they don't go to work.
I've got a lot of friends.
But I know I'm leading to another story.
No. I've got a lot of friends who have been forced to get COVID shots by their job, who I know wouldn't have gotten one otherwise.
Well, talking about that, I like that.
Got no symptoms from it. They're fine, and they're kind of like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of glad I did it. I feel better now. You know, all the hype about, about the shot and what's in it and the side effects and, the fake news about people dying from the vaccine. There, just the other day, a doctor died like 3 weeks after he got the vaccine.
What did he die from?
Nobody knows. Probably some sort of a heart attack or something. But again, the idiot anti-vaxxers are like, that one guy 3 weeks. Yeah. If you got a shot and you were going to die from it, it would happen within 24 hours.
That's why they
The
monitor
poison,
you
whatever's
before you
going
leave.
on, isn't just going to sit in your body for a month. Again, science. Listen to the science people. Listen to the doctors. Don't argue with doctors and PhDs on Facebook. Okay?
Fair enough.
Stop doing it. Get your vaccine and shut your goddamn mouth.
And to add to that, in the state of Oregon, you have to show proof that you're vaccinated to go see Oregon or Oregon State football.
Ducks and beavers, baby. You want to see them? Get your shot.
There you
Get
go.
stuck, and you could see the duck.
You know, he had a pause in that middle of the sentence so he could get that name. Don't. But hey, it was well said. It was well said.
Pull up your sleeves, and you can watch the beeves.
Jeez.
And that was enough. All right, fair enough. He wanted that. He was like, "I'm jealous. You do it to Frank on HHW Show podcast. Can you do it to me?" But speaking about that, hey, I mean, seriously, look, man, just be smart, play it right. If you're not vaccinated, please vaccinate if you attend to these games. Or if not, just remember, wear your mask, man. All right, we're not telling you to do it, but we highly and strongly encourage you to go ahead and do so. But speaking about that, we got our college picks coming up, and let's put it up here. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Our first game of Saturday will be Nebraska at Illinois, in favor of Nebraska at -7. Before I do my expose my picks, we'll start with you, Joseph. You're on the hot seat right now. Who you got in this game?
Wait, why am I on the hot seat?
Because you was on fire, baby.
No. Oh, like hot, like I'm
no,
on
you're
fire.
not. You're not about to get fired. I mean, you are on fire. You're rolling.
I like Nebraska here.
All
I like
right.
Nebraska. Yeah, 7 points. I feel like this is gonna be a close game. I'm gonna take the 7.
All right. What about you?
I'm very intrigued by this game because, I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot of these teams I think, are right there and can make a run to at least play upset in the Big Ten. In Nebraska, they got Adrian Martinez. He's going to do his run and gun style. He's going to throw for 100 and rush for 100. Illinois got to stop him from hitting that 200 mark on either one of those. Otherwise, Nebraska's going to win. Nebraska, they got they lost their leading receiver to Kentucky this past season from transfer, but they did get a transfer from Montana who should be all right. They got a bunch of freshmen on their offensive line, along with a freshman running back. I don't like that. Illinois, on the other hand, 3 grad transfers and 2 seniors on their O-line, returning quarterback, returning running back, returning tight end, returning leading wide receiver. But defensively, Nebraska just has too many returning starters as well. Bunch of 3 out of 4 seniors in their linebacking core, 3 out of 4 seniors in their secondary returning. I'm just going to go the defense of Nebraska to get it done. But I'm not going to say they're going to cover. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go Illinois with the spread.
You did all that just for all that. You had me convinced they were going to blow out Illinois.
No, you know what? Brandon Peters, good quarterback for Illinois.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm picking Illinois to win the game. And because not only that they're going to win the game, they got, and you spoke about defense, Jake Hansen and Tony Adams did a lot of damage last year against Nebraska. They were penetrating in the backfield. They're going to continue doing the same and put pressure on Adrian Martinez. And I don't think Martinez will rush 100 yards. I think he's going to get punished in this game. And Illinois will win. And besides, Scott Frost, he's been having a losing record, right, since he's been in this program. And if I was him, I would see if he get that ticket. Well, no, he can't because UCF already has a new head coach. So he better find himself in another conference because the Big Ten is not for him, man. But Brandon Peters, you mentioned, he went 18 for 25 for 205 yards and 1 touchdown pass. He's doing lovely. They also have a new head coach, Brett Bielema from the New York Giants. That's right. He was a linebacker coach. And with Illinois' defense, they weren't that solid, but they were good enough. They just couldn't hang towards the second half. That's going to be a difference maker. And Illinois, I won't be surprised if they win by 2 touchdowns.
You're out of your mind, but listen, Nebraska's when I was younger, Jace, you don't even know. Tommy Frazier, Lawrence Phillips, Nebraska was a powerhouse. It pretty much ended when Scott Frost showed up as the starting quarterback for the Huskers.
No, it ended when Nebraska went up to the Big Ten. What are you talking about?
Been all downhill since then.
It went downhill since they went to the Big Ten. They thought they were going to do something, and Ohio State said, "No, see ya."
I'm telling you, it's sad. It's sad what happens when these teams are trying to, when you're messing up conferences, man. There's something to it.
All about the money. See what money do to you?
Yeah. Well, look what it did to Nebraska.
I heard in the game of spades, not all money's good money.
I like that.
Yeah. Speaking about not all money's good money. Our hometown, UConn Huskies, after almost 2 years of not taking a snap, they finally are now going to play the game of football. They will go and visit Fresno State. And Fresno State is not an easy opponent. I mean, Fresno State has competed against elite teams throughout their tenure, and they are favorite at 27.5. So I did a survey. I had to do my own survey. So before you answer this, I need average, and this is like, again, I did my analytics on this. I can't tell you no lie. The UConn football team averages negative 25.5. Okay, the spread of them losing. Okay, so it's 27.5. Would you take it or leave it?
Man, the problem here for me is the 600 days of not playing, the fact that Fresno is a pretty good team. My thought is are they going to go in and blow UConn out? Can UConn be respectable?
Really?
Having not played in so long.
Well, can you respect the coach? Because the coach, since his return, he's 6 wins and 30 losses.
Yeah. I say Fresno covers. I say Fresno covers about 40 points.
Damn, I just say take it or leave it. You're here trying to add points.
I'll give you more if you want to take this bet.
I'll raise you 50, man.
I'll spot you 35 points in this game, and I'll still take Fresno State.
Oh, Ovi, you said the average
I'm
25.5.
So what I'm saying, and the game openers, right, against teams like Fresno State or close to it, it's an average of negative 25.5 the way they lose. So there are games they lost more. There are games that they had lost within 20 or something. They've been blown out.
Yeah.
They've never won a top game yet.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that was the average, trying to collect all that data, 25.5. And I'm laughing because this game is 27.5. I'm all in for Fresno State on this one.
Yeah, 25.5 plus UConn going across the country to play Fresno. Fresno, they got their returning quarterback, returning both top wide receivers, returning running back. I don't see any.
Oh,
Fresno
don't forget.
State is a tough team in the Mountain
Jace,
West.
don't forget in 2019, UConn's defense was dead last, and their quarterback against rating was a 158.9.
Also,
which I believe is as high as it can be.
Yeah, I was producing Sports Talk with R&J earlier today. Justin D'Onofrio, great kid, loves UConn football. His only argument he could make was when they did play last, they had a bunch of freshmen playing. So hopefully those quote unquote juniors / sophomores, because of that.
Well, if I was on R&J, you know what I would tell them?
It's not going to happen. I'll take a 50-point spread. Fresno State's going to get it done.
Well, the next time you produce that show, let them know that since Randy Edsall returned, they're never the same compared he was with the team the first time around. So maybe he should have never went to Maryland to take that job. Then that UConn would have been at least competitive. But hey, let's move on to the next game. UCLA favored 17.5 over Hawaii. TikTok.
You know, I mean, UCLA is going to win the game. I don't have any doubt about that. My question is are they going to cover?
My question is will Chip be able to manage the game in the fourth quarter, since he's been blowing up smoke all last year in the fourth quarter, allowing teams to catch up to close into overtime or have the other team beat them? So, I mean, we could talk about Oregon State game. We could talk about USC game, you know, when they had to win and then they blew it. So what type of management skills are we going to see?
UCLA is 4-16-1 against the spread in their last 21 non-conference games. That's what's weighing on my mind.
Don't forget Hawaii coming off the island too, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, and again, UCLA, as good as they were last year, and they won. They all 4 of their losses were by less than a touchdown. They had a couple of shootouts last year. I'm just not sure. I love that defense. Week 1, are they going to cover 17.5? No, I think the game will be a little bit closer than that. So I'll take the points.
Okay.
I'm going to go UCLA at home, getting it done. Hawaii coming over from the island. That's going to be rough. But also UCLA, you mentioned it, Ovi, they were blowing those games. But that was because that was like the first real time most of the starters were Chip Kelly's guys from when he came over from the Eagles. That was his true first team at UCLA, which was all his recruits. So I think this year, just another year under the system, knowing the guys better, I think UCLA is poised to break through, and maybe, I don't know if they're going to be at the top of the South in the Pac-12, but they have a chance to play upset on a big team, and I think they're going to show that with a dominant win against Hawaii on Saturday.
UCLA, so you take them over 17.5, you're saying?
UCLA has won just once in their last 5 season openers. Last year, they gave up 48 points to Colorado in week 1.
I mean, Colorado is a good team.
Yeah.
Hawaii's returning a ton of starters on offense and all their top defensive players. So,
well, Hawaii has a good guy named.
I believe UCLA will win this football game. I think it's going to be about a 16-point game. I just don't see. I don't see this becoming a blowout. It's going to be closer.
So you say it's a 16-point game, but you think it's a close game. I thought a close game would be like by a field goal. That's a close game to me.
I'm talking about UCLA and Hawaii. If they're within 16 points, it's a close game. Las Vegas thinks 17.5 is the difference between talent levels here. So certainly, I think they're going to be a little bit closer. I think they're going to be within the point spread. Okay. Not for nothing, Obi. This is like if you and I went bowling. What's your handicap?
10.
Yeah. Me?
58.
It's been a while.
60?
It's been a while.
105.
It's been a while. Probably like maybe an 8.
Oh, get out of here. Now that's a close game.
You've never seen me bowl. We should bowl sometime. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, check my Instagram account. You see my pictures. You see my data.
I know what you're all about.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you haven't seen me bowl. I think we should get out there and do it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to show you because Hawaii has a dual threat quarterback named Sivan Cordero. He's a redshirt sophomore returning, and that dude is nasty, right? But again, UCLA's defense is kind of suspect. UCLA lost the last 2 games of the regular season last year to USC and Stanford because defensive management. This prevent defense kind of sucks. You can't do prevent defense against Hawaii. I'm going to tell you that right now. But however, UCLA does have another quarterback, his dual threat, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He's expected to start, and this guy is legit the guy, all right? Also, Brenton Brown, he is very effective. He's returning as a running back, very explosive. I see this game, because it's the first game, and it's Chip Kelly, I got this. They will cover it. UCLA should win by at least over 17.5. So I'm going to give it to them. Yes. All right. Moving on to UTEP and
you just agreed with Jace. That's hilarious.
I know it's sad, but
defending champ for a reason, boys.
No one can explain that.
Not even himself. See, he already left. But anyways, UTEP -10 over the New Mexico State. Now, again, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything right here. I'm going straight up. I'm going for UTEP. Look, New Mexico State has won 3 straight games against them, but right now, UTEP got 11 players returning, okay? And they're all about seniors and juniors. There's more upperclassmen than New Mexico State. This is why I pick them. -10, going UTEP.
And that's good. I think I'm going to do it too. I'm going UTEP. Yeah. I'm going to do it.
I'm not going to lie. I wrote all my notes for University of Texas San Antonio instead of UTEP. But luckily, it goes UMass, UConn, New Mexico State as the worst teams in the FBS. So I'm going to take UTEP and the points to get it done against this trash New Mexico State Aggies team.
All right. We'll watch them win by a field goal. Anyways, last one, San Jose State versus Southern Utah. This is a bye week. I'll be disappointed if San Jose State, which is the defending, what is it, the Midwest Conference, I think.
Mountain West.
Yeah, there you go. Mountain West.
Yeah.
Over 24.
Yeah,
Southern
San Jose
Utah,
State.
It's not a Division I team.
This is like a 35-0 win, 42-0, 56-0, something like that. Yeah, I'll take San Jose. Seriously, I'd give 38, 39 points here.
No, San Jose State's really, really good. They've been good the past couple of years. They're going to get it done easily. Southern Utah is nothing.
All right, and guess what? That is it for the picks, because once again, it is college football time, baby, and I'm very, very excited. There's something to talk about every weekend, and a week after that, NFL will debut. But hey, bottom line is the real games will be happening the following week, with the game of the week of week 1 will be Clemson and Georgia in a neutral site going at it. Winner with a possibility of being ranked number 1. So there's plenty of picks coming for week 1. I can't wait. It's a good start, but I have a gut feeling that of all those 5, at least 2 of them got to be a hell of a game that has to go to the wire. So there's something to talk about. I mean, if you have a lot of blowouts, it's just not fun, right? It just highlights, hey, this is what happened, but I'll see you next week. You know what I mean? So I think this is a chance for these teams. They're going to be nationally televised, and this is a great opportunity for them to represent. So
yeah, and a lot of those games are pretty evenly matched too, so they should be good.
Right, and maybe the spread is fooling us. Again, this is week 1, so you never know what can happen in week 1 games.
Vegas isn't usually wrong.
Yeah,
true. Only the pickers.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Go ahead, Joe.
I said I would save this for the end, and here we go. Auburn Tigers football coach Brian Harsin says he's not anti-vaccine after he tested positive for COVID-19. His quote was specifically, "Let me be clear, I am not anti-vaccine, and any narrative along those lines is misinformed." Harsin would not say whether or not he was vaccinated. He did say that he's gone to great lengths to inform and educate the players about the virus. He said he went as so far as to bring an expert in to talk to the team. However, he has not encouraged his players to get the vaccine. He fully supports anyone's decision to get it or not to get it as long as they do their own research. By the way, Auburn is one of a handful of SEC teams that has not reached the 85% vaccination rate for avoiding regular COVID-19 testing. You're just making this harder on yourself. Now, he brought up the breakthrough cases. That's where people who have been vaccinated get COVID. The best part of that is those people recover within days, barely have any symptoms, if any, and are right back on the field after 2 positive tests. For everybody else, it's a totally different story. If you're going to be the leader of men, you got to put your political ignorance aside. And you don't encourage people to do foolish things. You encourage them to do the things that are best for you and your program and your university and all of the human beings that live around you. This isn't hard. I hope he's not suffering too much with the COVID, but I don't know. Maybe he'll change his perspective. Anyway, that's going to do it this week for All 4 Downs. Make sure you visit hhwshow.com to get all the latest. You can also check out clovercrestmedia.com for all of our different sports shows, the CMG Sports Network, of which All 4 Downs is proudly a part of. For Obi Muniz and Jace Garcia, I'm Joe Aguirre. We'll catch you next Thursday night for All 4 Downs.